They can close their jaws with about 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. But they don't have much opening power. You could actually hold the mouth closed on a 6-foot alligator yourself. But you don't want to get on the closing end of those jaws. So give Sammy a hand. Now the turtles have their scales on their back, as we see in this cute little box turtle. Think he's cute? You want to shake his hand and say hi? So that's the little box turtle. If you were to see this guy without the turtle and just look at his scales, we see that they're attached to the animal's backbone. So they actually form a little pop-up camper that they carry with them. Pass that around. Take the whole shell and pass it around. Who likes lizards here?
Wow!
Yeah? Well, I brought a few very interesting lizards to show you today. We're going to start off with this cute little guy with a green head and a purple tail. Isn't he cute? Does anybody know what that is?
It's a leopard gecko.
It is a leopard gecko. Did you see him in a commercial?
No, I own two.
Well, you have to. I thought maybe you bought insurance for this guy. This is a leopard gecko. And you can find these guys in India, Pakistan, his house. Now the leopard gecko has a very interesting way to protect himself from enemies.
Oh, changing into colors.
No, that's the chameleon.
No.
You see, if an animal were to attack him, or if you were to handle him very roughly, he'd run off to safety. And guess what you'd have left in your hands?
His tail.
His tail. He could run off and leave his tail behind. And then guess what happens? He grows a new one. So that's the leopard gecko.
Wow.
Here's an interesting lizard who comes from Australia. This is the bearded dragon. Now you see a lot of these in pet stores these days. You also see a lot of baby iguanas in the pet store. I don't recommend you buy a baby iguana. I recommend the bearded dragon for a pet if you want a pet lizard. The reason being, those baby iguanas can grow to be 6 feet long. I've seen them get aggressive and bite their owners right down to the bone. As you can see, these guys have much better personalities. They actually like to get out and interact with you. So that's the bearded dragon. My recommendation for best pet lizard. Here's another lizard who comes from Australia. That's the blue-tongued skink. And if you want to know why he's called a blue-tongued skink, just watch very carefully.
Because his tongue is blue.
Yeah, his tongue looks like a Smurf. See that?
Excuse me?
Oh my gosh.
He's also got short little feet. Have you ever seen a lizard with no legs at all? There's legless lizards. Well, they look like snakes, but they're lizards. So I'm going to tell you how to tell the difference between a snake and a legless lizard. But first I have to ask, is anyone here afraid of snakes? Anyone at all? What's your name? Michelle. Why are you afraid of snakes? Although I have to admit, you're in the front row, so I'm proud of you. Why are you afraid of snakes? Now wait a minute!
Awesome.
My snakes aren't mean, and my snakes are beautiful, as you're going to see. Okay? But Michelle, some people tell me they're afraid of snakes because they look like they're always staring at them. Snakes don't have eyelids. They can never blink and they can never close their eyes. They are staring at you. They can't help it. That's one difference. Lizards have eyelids and snakes do not. Another difference. Snakes don't have any ears. They can't hear anything. Lizards do. See those 2 orange holes on the side of his head? Great lizards. See his ears? He can hear very well too, so be careful what you say about it. Okay, let's move on to my favorite reptile. Probably not Michelle's. How many people here have ever heard of the very venomous, deadly black mamba from Africa? Yeah? Well, this isn't one. This is actually a black milk snake from Central America. The only time he'd ever be dangerous is if he sees the color blue. You don't even know what you put on today, do you? All right, we're going to show you what the snake feels like. And I think you're going to see that they're not slimy at all. They're actually very dry to the touch. They actually feel like a garden hose or a basketball. Michelle, how would you like to overcome your fear of snakes today? One little touch and we'll all be so proud. Yes, give Michelle a hand. She's overcome her fear of snakes. And he's not even ugly, is he? Well, he's certainly not me. These guys come from Panama, Costa Rica, Central America. Jenny's walking around with a ball python, and they come from Africa. Anybody else?
I want to touch the head.
Okay, let me show you another snake, and then I'm going to ask you a question. See if you can tell me what this is. Anybody know what kind of snake this is? What is it?
Corn snake.
He is a corn snake. How did you know that?
I learned it from my dad.
Your daddy must know snakes.
My dad.
Do you know why he's called a corn snake? No, if you look at his belly, the pattern on his belly looks like Indian corn.
Not really. Yeah, it does.
But why do you suppose this corn snake has these beautiful colors and patterns on his back? Camouflage. What's that mean?
It means you can blend in with like the ground.
Yes, exactly. These snakes come from the southeastern United States. If you've ever been to South Carolina before, you know the dirt is very orange there. So if he were crawling around in the woods and the sun was shining through the trees, stay away from him, you might not even notice him, right? Because of his camouflage coloring. Now, I want to ask you a question, but I need you all to take 3 steps back. My question to you is this. Where in the world do you think this next guy would blend in? The only place I could think of, maybe his shirt. Maybe a crayon factory. Does anyone know what this is? Just shout it out.
Africa.
King snake?
Africa.
Not a king snake.
Okay, I know that's not a cool snake.
Any guesses?
Africa. Coral snake.
Who said coral snake? Guess what?
Cool snake.
Coral snakes don't need camouflage coloring. You know why? Because coral snakes are very, very venomous. They can kill you. So other animals and smart human beings stay away from them. Now what is your name? Huh? What is it? Christian. Christian?
Christian.
Christian, can I ask you a question? Will you be honest? Will you give me an honest answer? Okay. Christian, here's your question. Do I look stupid? I'm asking him. I like your answer, Christian.
You do not look stupid.
Now, I'm going to give you a snake because I like your answer. You don't have to feed that.
Yes.
Even though I don't even need to be honest. But guess what, Christian? I'm not as stupid as some people around here think I look. You see, if this were a highly venomous coral snake, I wouldn't be holding him. I'd make Jenny hold him.
I would hold it.
He's actually a harmless Pueblan milk snake from Mexico. His protection is called mimicry. He mimics the coral snake. Now, if you know your snakes, you know how to tell the difference. There's actually a poem you can remember. Does anyone know how that poem goes? What's your name? Oh, who knows the poem? You know how the poem goes?
No.
Somebody said that.
No, you'll get a little rubber snake.
Come on up here. Come on up. I need you to hold this coral snake for me. It's a fake one.
I can see that.
I want you to tell everybody how that poem goes.
All right, so red on black. If you look, we've got red stripes here and black stripes there, and they touch each other. Red on black, friend of Jack.
Yes.
Red on yellow, dangerous fellow.
Very good. Everybody hear that?
That's a poisonous snake.
He's right. See, the coral snake's colors are separated by a yellow band. The milk snakes are separated by a black band. Very good. Thank you, sir. Give him a hand.
Very good.
Milk snakes are some of my favorite snakes. They come in a wide variety of beautiful colors and patterns. That's the Pueblan milk snake. Somebody asked me before why they're called milk snakes. Well, farmers say that they see these snakes getting milk out of their cows. Now that's utterly ridiculous. They can't do that. But that's where they get their name. This is the Honduran milk snake. A very beautiful snake, don't you think? Where's Michelle? Now, Michelle, isn't he beautiful? Ah, you probably want to hold him, don't you? Wait your turn. Now, I brought a few other Honduran milk snakes to show you because they're very rare, and you may not ever see any snakes like this again. Once in about 1,000,000 births, they come out pink. That's a very rare Honduran milk snake.
That's camouflage.
But as rare as he is, I brought another Honduran milk snake that's so rare, they've never been found in the wild this color. I think it's the most beautiful snake you're ever going to see in your life. He's so bright. He's so bright, I call him my electric snake because he looks like I just plugged him in. Look at this guy. He came out mimicking the creamsicle.
Oh, gee.
If he were a corn snake, I'd have to call him a candy corn.
Candy corn.
Would you like to see an example of camouflage?
Yes.
Sir, would you come up here a minute? Where'd he go? Okay. Has anyone ever seen a white snake before?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, this is also a corn snake. He is an albino corn snake, and that means he's a mutation.
He's white.
You see, his genes didn't produce the pigment to give him his camouflage coloring.
He would blend in right here.
So he would stick out like a sore thumb in the wild. And other animals that like to eat snakes would eat him as a baby. You don't see too many adult albinos in the wild. And not all albinos are white either. Who likes snakes a whole lot? Back up. You come on up there. Will you do me a favor? Will you hold this guy for me? But I want you to face this way. You know why? Because if he bites you, everybody wants to see it. I'm just kidding. This is also an albino corn snake. He's an amelanistic albino. And that means he lacks the brown and the black pigment. But he still has the orange and the red. Back up, guys. You like snakes?
I love him.
Will you hold him for me? And just turn around. Now, if you take a corn snake and you breed it with an Emery's rat snake, you get a creamsicle corn. Put a bunch of these in a can and you have cream corn. Come on, folks. Corn snake, corny jokes. That's what you get. What do you have your hands up for?
I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it.
Hold on. You hold him and turn around and face everybody. This is a very rare corn snake because he came out with stripes. And he's an amelanistic albino. That makes him a double mutation, and it makes him extremely rare. You really, really want to help, don't you? Stand right here. Stand up here next to this guy. And of course, this is what the regular corn snake looks like. Who needs a necklace? You need a necklace? Would you like to have a necklace?
Oh, he's crawling down to my earth.
Come on up here.
As long as he won't choke me. Does this thing
Well, let's just see. No, he will not choke you, so you just turn around here. This is everybody's chance to take a picture of these crazy snake people up here. Well, I get a picture.
We're trying to get away
And
from
then we'll continue.
Oh, he's crawling around my shirt.
Oh, wow.
Hey, look at him.
Hey, smile at the camera.
He's falling off the camera.
And then we'll just continue. Could I have my necklace back? I know it looks much better on you than me, but I'm just going to put it right here, okay? Thank you. Can I have my creamsicle back? Please? I said please. Thank you. Can I have my snake back? Thank you. I didn't say you could tie him in a knot. Look at that. He tied my snake in a knot. Yes, you did. Look at that.
He turned me around.
Thank you. Can I have my snake back? Thank you. Ah, you like that. I'll just put him right here. Can I have my snake back? Thank you very much. Okay, what do you call an animal that eats other animals? A carnivore. Very good. All snakes are carnivores. They eat other animals.
Eaters.
Yeah, now depending on what type of snake they are, they're going to use one of three methods to overtake prey. First method is they simply crawl up to an animal and swallow it. The second method is called envenomation. Those are the venomous snakes. Or the poisonous snakes. And I'm going to show you how they do it using this. Because I don't keep venomous snakes at my house. It's not too smart, and she won't let me.
Nope.
But the venomous snakes have two glands on the side of their head that produce highly toxic venom. And they have two hollow fangs that act just like a hypodermic needle. Just like when you get a shot at the doctor's office.
What? Poison.
And those fangs inject the venom into the bloodstream of the animal they're going to eat, which acts very quickly to kill them, and then they swallow it. Now, only the venomous snakes have the hollow fangs, but all snakes have teeth. In fact, all snakes have several rows of very sharp teeth, and all snakes can bite. I thought I'd tell you guys that after you helped me.
What's in your shirt? One snake's in your shirt.
Oh, thanks for telling me. Hey, what do you call? What's the third method snakes use to overtake prey?
There's a snake in your shirt.
Constriction. And what do you think of when you think of a constrictor? A boa, a python, something big? I'm thinking of corn snakes right now, because corn snakes are also constrictors.
There's a snake in your shirt.
It's very interesting how the constrictors do it. You see, they can swallow animals that are 5 times bigger than their own head. You guys want to do an experiment to show you? Hold on. I'm not going to feed anybody to a snake today. I just want to see who's got the biggest mouth in here. I think I already know. So, on the count of 3 here, I want to see your biggest yawn, and Jungle Jenny here is going to help me judge this, okay? 1, 2, 2.5, 3. Wow. We have a lot of big mouths here. This is going to be tough.
Uh-oh, look back here.
Oh yeah, this boy's going to hurt himself. What's your name?
Cole.
Congratulations, Cole. Cole's got the biggest mouth in the whole fair today. Give me my hand. Have you ever been told that before? I just told you. Well, here, Cole, for being a good sport, have a snake. And you don't ever have to feed that one. Oh, I got a snakeskin belt. Now, it's very interesting how the constrictors do
What's in your
it.
pocket?
Believe it or not, they can open their mouth wider than Cole. And the way they do that, their jaws are very loosely hinged like that. So they can open their mouth all the way up. Their skin stretches like elastic and pulls that animal into their stomach where they just sit and digest for a long, long time. Because these animals eat such large prey, they don't have to eat every day like a dog or a cat. They might only eat 1 meal a month. And the ball python can go over a year without eating a meal and still be healthy. Oh my goodness. I know how to fix this. I'll just take him off. Hey, do you know what the best hand to use to pick up a venomous snake with is? Yeah, Jenny's to be exact. How many of you like to walk down the beach barefoot in the summertime? You like to do that, Michelle? So do I. I like to walk along the beach and look for seashells. You like to do that, Michelle? See if there's any seashells in here. Hey, guys. Back up. 5 steps back. 5 steps back. No seashells in here. I was going to see if Michelle wanted to dig around in there. Just a snake. This is a Kenyan sand boa from Africa. And they like to burrow under all that sand and then wait for little prey animals to walk by and then jump out of the sand and grab them. But I call this my magic snake. You know why? Because he can disappear before your very eyes. Now don't come up here. I'm going to come to you. Would you like to see him disappear?
Yeah.
Well, look at this. He's a very ticklish snake too, so if you tickle him, he'll disappear even quicker. Tickle him. Is he giggling? Do you hear him giggle? He giggles. Okay, back up because he just disappeared. My disappearing snake. Now some snakes, back up where you are, some snakes, the babies are born alive, and some snakes lay eggs. All the snakes I brought with me today, except that little boa,
I've been sewing those.
lay eggs. Now these are corn snake eggs. They stick together sometimes. You guys picked a good time to come to the fair because these eggs just hatched 2 weeks ago. And I've still got one of the babies that crawled out of these eggs. Would you like to see him?
Yeah.
And then I've got a big surprise for you. This is a baby corn snake. He crawled out of one of those eggs. And he's only 2 weeks old, so you have to be very, very gentle. He's a little baby snake. And he's very cute. No, but you can pet him. Very, very cute.
like snakes. They're so awesome. Yeah, one time I
Okay,
saw
back up,
that's a
everybody.
snake.
Does everyone agree this is a cute little baby snake?
Yeah!
Michelle, do you think he's cute? Have you ever seen cute little baby pythons in the pet store? Usually in 10-gallon aquariums.
I used to.
Have you ever been tempted to bring one home?
No.
Smart man. Anybody?
My mom
You
doesn't
have?
live. No.
Good, because I would tell your parents to just say no. Want me to show you why?
Excuse me. Sorry.
Those cute little baby pythons are 3 feet long when they hatch. Then you know what they do?
Grow.
They grow, and they grow,
Hey, there's one in there.
and they grow. Would you like to see a little 6-year-old python I brought with me?
Yes. Yeah.
And I'd like to introduce you to the star of the show, but I have 2 slight problems with that. First, I need you to take 10 steps back. And I need you to stay there. Second of all, this star of the show has gotten just a little too big for me to handle by myself. So I need 2 strong adult volunteers that are willing to come up here and help. You pretty strong, sir? You ever lifted weights? 100 pounds? I need somebody else to help him.
My dad.
Come on up here, sir. I think the 2 of you can help. So here's what we're going to do. I'll take the front, you take the middle, you take the back. Come on over here. And when I say lift, we're going to lift. I'll take this part, you take the middle, and lift.
Oh, wow.
Everybody lift.
That was oh wow. That was exactly like on TV.
All right, listen up. I'd like to introduce you to Chiquita. Chiquita is a little albino Burmese python from Southeast Asia. Yeah, the reason why I say little is because he's only 15 feet long and only weighs 100 pounds. But when Chiquita is full grown, he can grow to be 25 feet long and weigh several hundred pounds. This is why I tell you not to buy baby pythons in the pet store. Not because they're mean, vicious creatures that want to attack and kill you like you see on Animal Planet. Most Burmese pythons get very tame with handling. But here's the deal. Pythons and all snakes, for that matter, are not very intelligent at all. Chiquita doesn't know the difference between you or me or a tree. In fact, he probably thinks he's in a tree right now. So what do you think he would do if he thought he was falling out of that tree?
Do you like get hurt?
He'd hang on a little tighter, wouldn't he? And that's how people have accidentally been killed by these animals. They're very strong, powerful creatures. If you want to keep a snake for a pet, I recommend a corn snake. Leave the big pythons for the experts.
Hey.
However, I am going to let you all get a picture with Chiquita if you like. He's been held by about 40,000 people, and I might remind you he's the most famous snake on Facebook if you need a new profile picture.
Can
But I have one rule.
something?
You're not allowed to touch his face, all right? Snakes don't like their heads petted like dogs. We're going to line you up here. If you have a camera, stand right there, and you can take their picture. We'll line up here, and I'll take about 8 of you at a time. You'll stand in single file. You'll hold your hands out like this, and we'll set Chiquita in your hands, okay? So we'll get on this side. Jenny will line up. Line up here, about 8 of you at a time. All the way down. All the way down. Plenty of snake to go around.
Come on down.
Bring a few more. Come on down.
Pictures will people
do this.
stand right out there. Come on down.
And bring your cameras on this side, folks, if you want a picture. Hold your hands out here. Line up in a single file. And you're going to hold him up. I need 2 more people up here. We'll set him in their hands. Now you got to hold him up. And then look at the camera. And say squeeze! Did you get their picture?
You may. Wait a second.
Very good. Let's get my helpers back up here. Let's get another group up here. All the way down. We got plenty of snakes.
Come on. Your mama doing it. Come on.
All the way down.
Greg over there with you.
All right, now let's get some more. Let's get about 5 more.
Come down to the end here, okay?
All right, hold your hands out.
Keep on.
Come up here.
Right here. Won't hurt you. Won't hurt you.
Look at the camera.
Come on. Come on. It's over here. Hurry out of here.
Okay, ready to go some other stuff? No. I don't like okay.
Say squeeze.
Moira, we can get it.
Very good. He is squishy.
Here, Moira. He's squishy.
A big squishy snake.
Moira.
All right. Let's get my helpers back up here.
Very next group.
Let's get another group. And at the end of the program,
Let's see how it's done.
to help me, let you guys do it yourself. Come on down.
So you have to go to the bathroom. Wash your hands. Okay, let's go all the way down to the guy in the
Those are
back.
little spurs. You see those in big pythons and
All the way
boas.
down.
Everybody knows. Some people say they're using for mating.
Okay, put your
Come on
hands out
down.
like this. And now set the snake in. Don't touch his head.
Hold your hands
Get on the other
out.
side. Get on the other side.
We're going to set him in your hands, and you're going to hold him, okay?
Ready? If you're ready, hold on to
Go.
it.
Get down here.
Look up at Tyler. Can you see your friend
Look at the camera, and maybe you better say, please don't squeeze.
You can't get your picture taken on that side.
Yeah, you'll show up better on the other side.
You want to touch?
If you haven't seen this program, come back at 2, 4, or 5:30 and we'll have more shows. Thank you for coming. And let's get my helpers back up here.